Again, in this case, we are going to focus on our functional graphs and focusing on the straight line graph, which is a basic introduction that I'm going to give you guys for you to understand what we are going to work with later on. So basically, a straight line graph, this one, it is actually referred to as a linear function. That's actually a linear function, a linear graph. Meaning to say, the linear here is based on the presentation of the equation, the format that you are going to use. You are going to see that x is raised to the exponent of 1. So that's the exponent 1, 2 quadratic, 3 cubic. So when the exponent on x, when the highest exponent on x is what? Is 1. That's a linear function that you're going to consider. All right, a straight line when drawn, it is simply, as guys, it's just a straight line. All right, so these are not straight lines, but okay, let me put something like this so that you can see. All right, so a straight line, it is simply, okay, something like this. When drawn, you are going to have something like this. That's a straight line. All right, we can have something like this. It is a straight line. We can have something like this. It is a straight line. We can have something like this. It is a straight line. All right, so that's at the end when drawn or plotted. These are the expectations that we're going to have where we've got something of this nature, which is of a slope, and we've got something which is vertical, a vertical line, and we've got something which is what? Horizontal, a horizontal line. So that's a linear function when represented on this graph. We can have something of that nature, like I said here. Okay, so these lines that we are seeing here, they are presented in many ways. All right, they are forms of presenting a straight line. Okay, we're going to dwell much later on, but I just want you to know the basics. So they are actually forms. When you see that, you know, all right, this is a presentation for a linear function or a straight line. It can be represented or be given as ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. All right, some textbooks, they actually take it as ax plus by is equal to c. Do not worry about that. All right, what is important is that the highest exponent on x is 1, and also on y there is what is 1, where a, b, and c are constants, where a, B, and what? And C are constants. It's a format that represents what? A straight line. The general format. This is basically the general form. All right. Then number 2, we have another format or another way of representing a straight line. Y is equal to mx plus c, which is the most used or the most known format. It is not the only format, guys. No, there are so many. All right. But according to our syllabus, we're just going to indicate 3 ways. Y is equal to what? Mx plus c. There's another form which represents the gradient intercept form. So it is what? The gradient intercept. The gradient intercept form. So we're going to focus on these methods, on these graphs, separately, like in the drawing part or plotting of the straight line. We're going to see with time. All right. So in this, M represents the gradient, the constant, and also C is a constant, but they are important constants. Here we cannot tell what A, B is, and so on. Just constants, except for the C value. That's the one that we can also, okay, we are talking about something like this, but they're just constants. But here, guys, they are specific. important constants that we are talking about here. M representing the gradient. So where M is the gradient, let me just write down where M is the gradient. Where M is the gradient, the steepness of the slope, and C is the y-intercept, is the y-intercept, where the graph crosses or cuts the y-axis, the y-intercept. When this line is drawn on our Cartesian plan, where it crosses or cuts the y-axis, that is your y-intercept. That is your y-intercept, where it crosses or cuts the y-axis. If it is like this, where it crosses or cuts the y-axis, okay? So that's the C that we are seeing. And M is the gradient, which is the steepness of the slope. We're going to talk about that later on in terms of the gradient as we move on, just to go through the playlist up to the end of the videos that are in that playlist so that you understand everything on your functional graphs. And another format is when your equation is given as x over a plus y over b, which is mostly just taken for granted. But this is very, very important for you to understand. Yes, we can double cross these two to answer this part, this part, which is in most cases we don't see the importance of this format because it is mostly double crossed with what with you guys. You just okay, I'm just gonna use this format, but it is an important format, this one, that is also to be represented or to be taken, where x over a plus y over b, whenever it is equal to 1, this is the most important part, to be equal to 1, not another value, 2, 3, no, 1 here. When it is equal to 1, it is referred to as the double intercept form. So this one, it is best for the double intercept. So it is referred to as the double intercept form. In terms of the format, in a drawing of the straight lines, we can use the double intercept in drawing of the straight lines. Even from this format, we can apply double intercept form. I'm going to talk about that later on, but this can shortly be represented as what? The double intercept. There are so many ways that we can call depending with the author that you're using, but I'm just going to prefer the double intercept what form, where in this case x is equal to, you equate x to a, to the value of a. That value, when you equate x to the value of a, it is your x-intercept, is our x-intercept. So you're going to understand very soon. It will be our x-intercept. But like I said, I'm going to talk about these later on. But for now, just for you to understand what we're going to deal with. And y is equal to b is what? The y-intercept is going to represent the y-intercept, where this value of y is equal to b. It is going to represent the y-intercept, where the graph crosses the y-axis. So the x-intercept is where the graph crosses what? The x-axis. So let's say here, this is the value of x. X is equal to a. Let's say it is this one. And y is equal to b in the what? In the y-axis. In the x-axis, x-intercept. In the y-axis, y-intercept. So with these 2 points, you can simply join them and have what? Your straight line. So this is how you draw your straight line at the end, by just knowing this format. So like I said, I'm going to explain much as we are to dwell on that separately. But for now, these are the basics that you need, all right? So that is basically our straight lines, the formats according to our syllabus, all right? So we are going to focus on them in any way, but know that these are your forms representing the straight line graph. All right. So on the graphs now, there are other graphs that we do not need the form, guys. Just like the graph of x is equal to 2, x is equal to 3, y is equal to 2, y is equal to 4, something like that. These are known graphs. When we are talking about x being equal to 2, x being equal to 3, graphically, we need direct at the point where x is 2, all right? Let's say our Cartesian plane is like this, 0, 1, 2, 3 for every 2 centimeters. You're going to use 1 unit, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, all right? 1, 2, and so on, minus 1, minus 2. This is our Cartesian plane. Let's say we are given this Cartesian plane. I want you to see something here. The graph where x is 2 is directly on the x-axis where x is 2. This is where x is 2 in the x-axis. So meaning to say where x is 2, guys, it is throughout that line that is formed here where x is 2. The vertical line here, throughout this vertical line, x will be equal to 2. At this point, x is 2, the y value is minus 1, so it is 2 minus 1. Going up, this is 2 and what? 2 and 1, 2 and 2. So throughout that line going up, the x value will be what? Will be 2. So that is indicating or having this as a straight line. You just indicate what? A vertical line passing through that point where x is what? Where x is 2. Where x is 2. That is how you can simply indicate that x is 2. So it is no format that you can say y is equal to mx plus c, guys. These ones, you just take them direct as it is. All right. So let's say x is equal to 4. You do the same thing. Where x is 4, you draw that. You just take your vertical line direct where x is what? Where x is equal to 4. So you find out all these lines, x is equal to 2, x is equal to a, like that. They are what? They are vertical lines. They are what? Vertical lines. And these ones, y is equal to 2, y is equal to this, they are definitely going to be horizontal lines, just like that. So meaning to say, when you are given y is equal to 2, y is equal to 2, direct in the y-axis where y is what? Where y is 2. Here in the y-axis, you are going to draw what? A horizontal line. So meaning to say like this, horizontally passing through that point where y is 2. So that is the line of what? That is the line of y is equal to 2. So the same thing to the minus 1 here, y is minus 1 here. Direct that minus 1. All right? You draw your line. So that's we've got what? Y is equal to negative 1. So what does it mean? In the x-axis, y is what? It passes through 0. That is, in the x-axis, y is equal to what? Y is equal to 0. So that's y is equal to 0 in the x-axis. So the same thing, if we're saying these vertical lines, they represent x is equal to x. So what about in the y-axis? What is the value of x? X will be equal to 0. So in the y-axis, in this y-axis, this one, its equation is called what? X is equal to 0. And the x-axis, its equation is what? Y is equal to 0. So these are horizontal and vertical lines. We do not have any special method that we can say, use this method to draw them. So that's why I explained them. But the rest, going back to these forms that we have indicated here above, there are ways to draw these lines or to plot those lines that we have indicated here of these forms. In order for us to plot, we are going to consider method, all right? Methods to draw or to plot these lines, all right? These lines we can use. All right, so what is it that we can use to draw these lines? One, we can use the table of values method, all right? So there is a method which is referred to as the table of what? Values method, TOV, table of values method. So in short, when I say TOV, I'm talking about what? Table of values method. Number two, we can use the gradient intercept method, the gradient intercept method, the gradient intercept method, which I'm going to explain later on after some videos, because I'm going to explain about the gradient, how to calculate it graphically, how to determine it from an equation, how to calculate it given points. So it's going to be something that I'm going to explain later on, but I'm going to cover this method. All right. So be active. All right. Watch the videos to the end according to the playlist so that you do not miss anything, guys, according to your syllabus, and also to join membership so that you've got special videos meant for members. And for those who already joined membership, all right, let us comment on the comment section for any topic that we do not understand. I know some of you guys want me to focus on the Cambridge, so I'm still working on that. We still have a lot of subjects to be done or to be covered. But once we have time, I'm going to focus on that one, the Cambridge, all right? But for those who are under membership and you have some specific questions that you do not understand, let us comment, guys. Do not consider WhatsApp. Let us use here this platform on YouTube. You see, on WhatsApp, it's not always that I'm available. So let's use a platform, comment, write on the community section. Use the community section to send your messages. Whatever that you want to write on WhatsApp, you can write it on the community section. Check the community, Mathzone African Motives community. You can send anything as you wanted to have it on the WhatsApp. You can even upload a picture of the question that you do not understand. So you see, guys, there's no need of you accessing the WhatsApp. Let us use this platform to answer your questions. All right, it can be easier because I'll be just checking even the comments. I can just check, all right, this is what I have on WhatsApp. There can be a lot of messages for me to see your message. It can take time. So guys, let us use the platform that we are having here. All right, number three is the double intercept method. This one, it is the method to draw the lines, all right, or to plot the lines. We had the double intercept form, all right, the double intercept method. We had it before as a format of representing a straight line. If you see something in this nature, x over 2 plus y over 3 is equal to 1, you know that you are dealing with a straight line. It is just a form. Here it is now a method used in drawing straight lines. So do not mistake that, all right? So I'm gonna, like I said, Jewel, much later on, all right, so that you do understand what we are having here. But here, I just wanted you to know the basics of what you're going to face later on. So if there is any format that you do not understand after those videos, feel free to ask. That is the purpose of what the comment section. But for now, that is it, guys, on this part. Please go through all the basics. But for now, that is it till we meet again.